Hey guys, MORDOOM here. Today I'm going to be showing you how to build my personal favorite mob dropper. This dropper is perfect if you're on a skyblock type server or a factions or even some other kind of server, survival types. I've used this type of spawner and dropper on several single player worlds, and I've also used it on servers as well. This is really good because obviously it's really high in the sky, so not exactly easy to mess up. The only problems building it on a survival type server or even in skyblock is the absence of flight, but really you don't need flight to build this. It's just easier to do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to build this version, because this version is the original and this version is the customized. You can see there's the towers there. Those aren't really necessary. So first what I'm gonna do is start with the altar kind of thing. I call it an altar because, you know, mobs drop and they die and it's like sacrificial. Oh my gosh. So I'll just start with that. What you want to do is go ahead and make a simple structure. You don't really have to make one of these. I just like doing it because it's flashy. And then light this up. Actually, wait a minute. And now what you're going to do is you're going to build a tower that's roughly 60 blocks high. The reason it's 60 blocks high instead of the usual 24, which is what it would take to kill a mob, is because, and this is for all of you noobs out there watching this video, it has to be high enough that they'll spawn, because if a mob is if the spawner is too close to you, then they can't spawn. So that would be a waste of resources. And just letting you know. Now I just gotta destroy this pillar and I can get to work. Place a torch there and that's complete. Then gotta come up here. Now what you want to do is on each side go out 8 blocks. And then once you have that, you'll place 4 blocks, 1 on each corner, just to let you know where to make this. Then you'll start ringing it, make a border around here. Then you'll add water. The reason it's 8 blocks out is... Now I'm back, and now as you can see, I've gone 8 blocks out on all sides, ringed, and now you've got a big blue X. Now this is now at this point, or before you get to this point, you have the option to customize it. You don't have to make it this big. You can make it so that it's cut off. You can cut it in half, or even cut it into one corner. So you would cut that in half, leave that part out, and you would just make one spawn pad. So it would all flow down this way, and you wouldn't even have to build this part, these two. And so that's pretty good. And that's what I mean by customizable. There's at least 3 ways to customize this to your liking, whether it be for size or stackability. Remember, these are stackable. See on the top? You can just ring another section, make more spawn pads, and let it go. I'm just going to cover this back up. So now all you have to do is make the spawn pads. And and it's pretty boring sometimes. There's times like this when I'm doing these tutorials that I really wish I had world edit, because I wouldn't have to pause it, but it's fine. At least I know that I'm putting actual work into it. And I will see you when I'm done with that. Hey guys, I'm back, and as you can see, I finished the fourth and last spawn pad. Now, at this point, you have another choice of customization. You can either leave it as it is with the original blueprint, or you can double up the thickness of the spawn pads, like that, and then just put signs. This will make it so that when they fall into the water, they can't jump back out, but they don't jump out anyways, so I always found it was kind of pointless to have that. Also, it's just a bigger drain on the resources. The thing about this dropper, is it's huge, so it really kind of drains resources. So what I like to do is use wood for this, especially on the bottom part. Not necessarily on the walls, but or the top, but just the bottom, because light doesn't flow up through the bottom. That would be kind of dumb if it did. So that's pretty good, and with that in mind, now it's time to work on the walls. Pretty simple. All you need to do is 3-block high walls, and when you do 3 high, you can just add this, a roof on the 3rd block, so that mobs, or namely Endermen, can't spawn, because Endermen are just you wouldn't really be able to get them. You wouldn't want them in a dropper because of their ability to pick up blocks. So, with that in mind, I will continue. And I will be back as soon as I've got this done. Here I am again, working on the 3rd wall, or 4th wall, actually. My bad. And yep. While you're building this, you might also want to put torches in there, especially if you're doing it in survival. But since I'm not, and I do have cheats allowed, I'm going to be doing /time set day. There we go. And now all you have to do is make the roof. The roof is pretty much the easiest part. It is, as you can see, it is kind of a drain. But first, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make a ring around it, around the center, so that you know where to put if you want to stack. If you want to start a new thing. Then you just start filling in the roof. Generally, you don't want to use wood for this, because, as I said, light will go into the top and prevent mobs from spawning. But sometimes they do that, and other times they don't. If you do really want to use wood for this, I would recommend putting it in an already shaded area. So, up to you where you want to put that, but pretty much this design is really user-friendly. It doesn't take a lot of intelligence to make. It's fully customizable, and really you can do anything with this. You can put it anywhere. You can even put it underground. Of course, that would be a little bit of a problem. Best thing about this, fall damage, I believe, does yield experience points. I could be wrong, but really you don't need it. And I'm sure some of you have heard how witches are resistant to fall damage. As you probably saw earlier at the beginning of the episode, there was some redstone dust in one of the altars. That was from a witch, obviously. So this is evidence that this does work, unless you're on a modded server where fall damage is nullified, except for mobs, or certain mobs. I know some servers try to protect against these, but It's perfectly fine. You can still make these if you want like a mob grinder with rewards just going into a chest at the center, but then you would want to use hoppers instead of water. But if you don't want to waste in-game money trying to get hoppers, you can go with water. Water is essentially the same thing. And there you have it. This is another mob dropper. And you know, as is over here, as you can see, I decided to make it a little bit more fancy, and I left the towers. If you're really devoted to making it look fancy and such, you can make towers, and you might even put a little thing here for ladders. Let's search the ladder. Oops. There we go. Ladder. You can make a ladder to go all the way up here. I don't really see what the point is, though. I mean, every so often you can come up here for maintenance. Like if you want something that has, if you want one to customize one of these, just add another layer of height to the wall on the outside to make it for Enderman. Then, because if you really want to go to the end, then you can make one of these with ladders going up so you can repair block damage. But other than that, you really don't need to. I just want to put a torch there. There we go. And I'm just going to show you in action. / difficulty hard. I'm going to leave it at daytime because just to show you. As you can see, they're already dropping. And they more or less drop in the center. See, that one's active. I believe I'm far enough from that one so that this one I kind of screwed up. I made it a little bit too short so that when I'm directly under it, they don't really spawn. But as you can see, it's working out pretty well. I haven't ever really made one of these that didn't work the way it was supposed to, so that's good. And yeah, that's the end of the episode. Until next time, I will see you later. Next episode, I will be doing a tutorial on spawning, namely either wither skeletons or hostile rabbits. Leave your suggestions for tutorials in the comments section and subscribe. Alright, see you later.